Thanks for joining us today on Russ Reels Live as we talk finding purpose in health challenges with my amazing panel. Special thank you to our sponsors of Russ Reels Live, D. Scott Smith, the Alzheimer's Association, and Extreme Graphics.
Networking for Students, now available on Amazon. dscottsmith.com/students. Order a copy for your student or the graduate in your life.
And for more information on the Alzheimer's Association and how to give to this amazing organization in the fight against Alzheimer's, go to alz.org. And finally, for Extreme Graphics and their amazing graphic services, go to extremegraphics.com. Hey everybody, welcome to Russ Reels Live. This is Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and we are here with an amazing panel of people today to talk about finding purpose in health challenges. And I'm telling you, I've got some amazing friends that have a great perspective on life and have found amazing purpose in the midst of some pretty trying times. And so I just am excited to bring them all on today and get things rolling. But first, wanted to tell you I am so glad that you are here with us today on Russ Reels Live. We're here every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. That's true. Yes, it is. I'm telling you, you can not only be here with us live, but once we get done being live, it sits on the platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook for infinity and beyond. That's right. Forever it stays, and you can watch the video podcast. There it is. If you miss that or you don't have time to watch video, guess what? It converts to audio podcast, and you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. Yes, you can. You can go there and watch that. So today, I just want to encourage you to engage, to just get really involved and connect with people, not only firing off questions maybe for us here, but also connect with each other, because I'm telling you, it is so important to take advantage of these opportunities. So I love to connect with people. I love this because I love people. And so thankful you're here. If you want to connect with me, go to russhedge.com. Russhedge.com is a place to go. I would really appreciate that. It would be so great because I would love to get to know you. You can schedule time directly on my calendar, or you can connect with me through any of the social medias, email, phone number, whatever works best for you. Also, would love it if you would subscribe on YouTube today. Be so amazing. And, you know, we keep it really simple because you can subscribe on YouTube by going to russreels.live. So if you know my name, you know how to get to my website. If you know the name of the show, you know how to get to my YouTube page. There you go. It's that simple. I am a simple-minded guy, and I'm here for you today. So, yes, I'm so thankful that you have joined us. And so make sure you please subscribe. In fact, you can open a separate tab right now, and you can subscribe right as we're talking. And that will give you so much amazing contact and so many amazing people, if I can say the right words, that you can actually connect with that have been part of Russ Reels Live, Marketing with Russ, the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. It's all there at russreels.live today. And so I appreciate you doing that. Also, share this out right now. Let people know what's going on. Hey, there's going to be amazing people here. And so you want to connect with this group today and learn more about how to find purpose when you're having challenges in life. So appreciate you doing that. Also, you can tag your friends. Just put the @ sign down and start typing your friends' names in and let them know what's going on. And that would be so, so awesome. So I want to tell you how much I appreciate all of you today for being here. And listen, like I said, every week we are here with different topics, different panelists. And man, I'm telling you, it's an exciting time every week because I learn so much when we do this. And so I just appreciate them all for being here. I want to start the show off today with a couple of my friends that joined us via video because they weren't actually able to be here tonight, but they are amazing, amazing friends. And we're going to start off with my friend Mark Kageyama, who has gone through some pretty rough times, and yet an amazing attitude, a man filled with purpose. And so I want you to just sit back and take a look at this and listen to Mark. Hey, everybody. I'm here with my good friend, Mark Kageyama. And Mark is an amazing man who's battled just cancer beyond belief, really, and come out with such a positive attitude. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Russ. How are you?
I am blessed and thankful that you're here today. And, on Russ Reels Live, we pick topics that I think are really important that people really tap into. And one of those is finding purpose through health challenges. It doesn't matter whether you have cancer or whether you have another health challenge. It's not time to give up. It's not time to pack it in. It's time to find your purpose and move forward, right?
Oh, absolutely. I believe that we are presented things in this life for a reason. And, in my personal situation, it was to wake me up and to help me realize that I need to look beyond the scope of my immediate life, my immediate family, and realize that my life has a purpose for a bigger reason. And in my case, that bigger reason is to spread awareness and to help people realize that in the case of cancer, that there is hope and there is real hope for people who get cancer, and it's not a death sentence. And
no,
have to change the stigma of that for people, because when we were growing up, all we were told, hey, you get cancer, it's a death sentence, and it's
right.
not.
And you fought for life. And just within a minute, just give us a synopsis. You're going along through life, and suddenly what happens to you? And then just give us a quick intro into, for those that have not heard your cancer journey.
All of a sudden, I just started. All of a sudden, one day, I couldn't walk, and so I did a deep dive into getting tested and things like that. And what I share with people is people become doctors and lawyers and whatever profession they are. They study for years and years and years, but almost nobody studies cancer. So when you're presented with that diagnosis, hey, you have cancer, you're not ready for it. And so you're expected to make life-altering decisions with no knowledge. And so I just think it's so important to get educated and start learning about it, because everywhere I turn, every single day, people are coming to me, hey, this person has cancer, or that person has this. And so it's an epidemic.
Yeah, no, it really is. It is an epidemic. And I think so many people cash it in and just decide, and they give up. And you fought for life. You said, hey, I've got a lot of life left and I am not giving up. Even though you're at stage 4 cancer, they're telling you to get your affairs in order. And you say, hey, that's not going to happen.
What I think I've learned 2 most important things for me personally, is how powerful the mind is. Because in any health situation, it all starts in your mind. I mean, if you believe that there's hope, then there will be hope. But if you believe that there isn't hope, then you basically checked out. And it's shocking to me how many people have so little value for their own life. I mean, I was gonna fight with everything that I have, and I have, and so it's such an important thing. And the second thing I learned is how important words are. Words are so important, and the words that, for instance, somebody tells you, and one of my biggest pet peeves is the way doctors administer the diagnosis of cancer. And so many people I've seen, I mean, just countless, believe everything their doctor says.
Right.
When my doctor told me that you have stage 4 prostate, bone, and lung cancer, and your cancer is so bad that I can't cure you, I was like, okay, you're just basically telling me that you can't help me, so it's up to me to figure out how to do this. And along with God, I mean, he helped guide me along my way. Right. And I'm here today.
Well, and I'm so thankful for you, and you have found great purpose, and you are doing everything, putting out things to encourage other people. You have a show on Clubhouse every week. What's the name of that show again?
Cancer Conquering Community. It's on the Clubhouse app, 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And Russ, I thank you for being a part of that as well.
Thank you. And I just want to thank you for being a blessing in my life. And Mark, thank you so much for taking time and being on with us today.
Oh, thank you, Russ. Have a great one, and have a great one, everybody out there.
You too. All right. See you later.
Thanks.
That was such an amazing conversation with Mark. And yeah, he's just a great friend and just a man of real perseverance and purpose. And the next short video is from my friend Terry Tucker. And Terry is an amazing cancer survivor who is still battling, and actually had started with melanoma, invasive melanoma in his body, just like I had, very similar, but it had a rougher path, but it's just such an amazing blessing, amazing man of God. I'm going to bring you Mr. Terry Tucker. Hey, everybody. I'm here with my friend Terry Tucker, who is an amazing man, a good friend. And Terry, how are you doing today?
I am great, Russ. I'm really looking forward to talking with you.
Well, I'm always looking forward to talking to you. I mean, you have become an amazing friend in a short amount of time. And, you and I have gone through a lot of similar struggles. So when we talk all about, finding purpose in the middle of health challenges, what are you thinking about? Because sometimes you're just thinking, I just want to get through it, right?
You are, absolutely. And you and I both. I mean, we talk enough where we know what we want and what we don't want. But, I can honestly say this, and I've been dealing with the same disease that you have been for the last 12 years now. And I honestly think two important things. Number one, I don't think you truly know yourself until you've been tested by some form of adversity in your life. And secondly, and I know this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, cancer has made me a better human being.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. People ask me if I could go back and I could not have that happen. If I went back, I wouldn't choose it to happen, right. But I would not go back and wipe it away, because it has given me, not only made me a better person, but it's given me so much opportunity to touch lives and touch people that I would have never had the opportunity to do. So through that, it's made me a better person, and it's made me more aware. It's made me more health conscious. I mean, it's just done so many things, the things that came out of it too, all the side effects that come along with cancer and cancer treatment, the type 1 diabetes that I have really makes me health conscious on top of everything else. But, when you're going through those rough times, and I know you're going through regular treatment still, and sometimes it's really hard to dig down in those moments and really keep a good perspective and really stay focused on that purpose. But I know you do. What do you do to, besides deep prayer, what do you do to help keep your eye on the ball?
I really do. And I pray a lot. I many days spend hours in prayer because, as you know, as we go through this journey, there are so many people that come into our lives that we want to pray for. But I mean, one of the things I do is I start before the ugliness hits. And I recommend this to everybody. And I recommend it because I do it myself every day. Every day of your life, do one thing that scares you, that makes you nervous, that makes you uncomfortable, that's potentially embarrassing. It doesn't have to be a big thing. But if you do those little things every day, when you get into the positions that you and I are put in, where you just feel so depleted mentally, emotionally, physically, and I mean, it doesn't have to be illness. It could be breaking up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or losing your job, or the airline that you're leaving on to go on vacation gets canceled. If you do those little things every day, you will be so much more resilient to handle the big things when they present themselves.
Well, and I believe that's so true. In fact, I think that we should always be on the offense. So you're talking about being on the offense and doing something, that is hard to do, that pushes the limits for you. But I think also we need to make it a habit of thinking intentional, positive, good thoughts that are actually driving us in a positive, good direction. And doing that again before we have all the challenges, before they hit us. We need to be on the offense thinking that way, so that when they do, just like my morning routine, I'm already telling myself positive things in the morning. So when the negative things hit, it's not nearly as bad, right?
It isn't. And you and I have experienced enough pain and enough discomfort in our lives that you quickly realize that, this isn't going to be good, but it's not like the end of the world. And I remember when I had my first knee surgery when I was in high school, I had listened to so many people tell me how horrible this knee surgery was going to be that I was almost catatonic, going into the surgery. It was like I couldn't function at all. And you quickly realize that God never gives you more than you can handle. And I think you would agree with that. And that's been the case with me. It's like, okay, whatever happens today, God, hey, you got this. You got this. I'll take whatever comes my way, because I know I'm not doing this alone. I know I'm doing this with something much bigger than me.
Yeah, we know that God is going through it with us. We both believe that. And I think that, I always say that God's not done with me yet. I know he's got so much more ahead of me to do. And that is what I look forward to. And Terry, a blessing to have you on today. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll talk again soon.
Sounds great, Russ. Thanks a lot.
You bet. Wow, that was he's such an amazing guy, and I just appreciate him. And, it's so important to focus on and being on the offense, like we talked about, focus on intentional direction. And Zoraida Morales, my next guest, she is such a great friend. We were able to go to meet and be at the Perspectives on Cancer live conference last year. And I'm just going to bring her on in here to make sure I've got things all set. Okay, here she is, Zoraida Morales. Woohoo!
Hi.
How you doing, Zoraida?
I'm well. How are you? It's good to be here.
Good. Yeah, coming from sunny Florida. And I want you to know it was sunny Oregon today, too. Very sunny and nice. And so, yeah, I almost felt like I was in Florida today.
Well, I'm actually in Virginia Beach.
There you go. Virginia Beach. Amazing. Isn't that Florida, though?
No, I'm in Virginia.
Oh, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Why did I think you were in Florida? Well, because you're close. There you go. Well, you'll get me straight. It's all good.
It's all good.
Virginia Beach, sunny Virginia Beach. There we go. Yeah. So listen, I'm just blessed to have you as my friend and, have your really positive perspective, sending me encouraging notes, and I just appreciate that. And Zoraida, give everybody just a little snapshot. Who is Zoraida Morales, and what are you all about?
So who is she? She's a cancer survivor of chronic myeloid leukemia. Took chemotherapy for 13 years. I am celebrating 34 months in remission.
Amen.
I am a nutrition cancer coach. I'm an author, a podcaster, a parent of 2 young men, and life is really good right now.
Yeah. Well, that is, what I love about that is you are just always so positive in the midst of everything you've gone through. And, one thing, the whole cancer coach thing, let's talk about that a little bit, because you really wanted to reach out and help others, right? And that's where this all came about. Because, you don't hear about a lot of cancer coaches.
Yeah. I was a finance professional, and I was coaching a caregiver whose daughter just got diagnosed with negative breast cancer. And she came to me because someone I knew suggested she speak to me. And, I just felt, she asked me all these questions. I gave her as much information as I could. And her gratitude was just so electric for me that my heart just opened up, and something happened that I had not felt in a really long time. And I said those words. I literally felt God tap me and said, I'm going to be a cancer coach. And, I had no idea what that meant. I never met a cancer coach, knew a cancer coach. I never knew there was such a title. And it really struck me, and I was scared for a week. And then I went and I Googled it. And I said, I could do this. I've learned a lot of lessons, and I have a lot to teach. And so I started looking for a school, and I was lucky enough to find the Institute of Transformational Nutrition that, just resonated with me, because it was on the 3 pillars of nutrition, right? It was on the mental, the physical, and the spiritual. And that meant a lot to me, because I needed something to include the spiritual part of healing someone, as well as the mental and the physical. But it also gave me an opportunity to start my own business, and I won a free scholarship. And so, 3 weeks after I went into remission, I incorporated myself, and I've been working with cancer patients and caregivers ever since. And it's been the best thing I've ever done. Going back to what Terry said, for me, cancer, and look, I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but it was a gift for me, because it gave me an opportunity to really get in touch with my heart, because I was living in the mind and ego. I'm a kid from generational poverty, so we needed the mind and ego to get us out of the South Bronx of New York City, and then go to college, and then work in the finance industry. Everything was mind and ego, and I wasn't tapping into my heart. So the gift for me was tapping into my heart, learning everything that I could, and now I'm teaching it to others.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. So do you do that mostly virtually, or do you actually go out and see people?
I can't wait to see people, but I do it virtually. But I can't wait to see people. I really am. And look, I just moved to Virginia Beach. I don't have an office. I'll have to figure it out. Maybe we can have a session on the beach, right?
Hey, there you go.
Right.
Session on the beach.
Yes. I'm less than a mile from the beach, because what's the whole point of moving here if I'm not going to be close to it? But right now it's virtual, and so I speak with people from around the world, and I love that, because
that's awesome.
We have this commonality, which is cancer, but then everyone needs something different. So I like to structure my sessions according to what the person needs.
Sure. Yeah, I love that. Well, hey, I want to get our next guest in, Mr. Baron Robison, who's my great friend from Kicking Cancer. Here he is. How's it going, Baron?
Good to be here, Russ.
Well, it's always good to see you, my friend. Give everybody a little snapshot on Baron and Kicking Cancer.
What's really crazy, Russ, is I am the one person in your group right here that is not a cancer survivor. Terry and Mark and you guys are all survivors of some sort of cancer. I was inspired 6 years ago to help my sister, who was going through a metastatic breast cancer diagnosis. And when we got done doing this really fun adventure for her, I said, maybe we could help somebody else through their journey. And we found one more person, and then one more person, and here we sit a little over 6 years later, and I've lost tracks, Russ. I don't even know how many, but it was, for me, it was a case of, can I reach my hand out and help one more person through their cancer journey? And the really crazy thing is, it was that very first year that I met you through a networking group, and we became friends. Next thing I know, I'm helping Russ through his cancer journey. But for me, it's just how can I help somebody through their cancer journey?
Yeah, and that was kind of a surreal thing for me, honestly. Here I was involved supporting others, and we have some good friends that have gone through the battle, and then suddenly, voila, I'm told that I have cancer, and you so quickly came to my side and supported me, and I appreciate that. It just shows your heart and all that you do. Your sister, she's still battling a little bit, isn't she?
Yeah, she has metastatic breast cancer. She thought she had it under control. It did come back a little over a year ago. She lives in Yuma, Arizona. We co-founded this organization. But see, the great thing is, and several of your other guests have mentioned this, it's what you learn along the way. Cancer has made her a better person. And I don't think anybody in this group would want to get cancer, but I think everybody has said they're a better person because of it. And when it came back the next time, she made a very interesting statement, Russ. She said, this time I'm not starting from scratch. I'm starting from experience. I know what to do because I've already gone this path once before. And she went right back to the things that she had done. She gets up every single morning in Yuma, Arizona, and she goes for a walk, and she gets some exercise, and she eats real food, and she keeps that positive attitude that all of your people have talked about. But yes, she's back in the battle again.
Well, I tell you, no matter where you are with this, cancer is a lifelong battle. Well, something we talked about, Zoraida, when we were at Perspectives on Cancer, because even if you have no sign of disease in your body as far as cancer, like where I am, you're still dealing with constantly having to go in and be checked and get, make sure that everything is fine. Number two, you always end up with things that come out of the treatment. I had immunotherapy, you had chemotherapy, and there's some things like that that always are around that you have to deal with. And I'm not 100% sure, Zoraida, if she is with us or frozen. I can't tell. Are you there, Zoraida?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your picture's frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but okay, you can hear me, so that's
There
good.
you go. Go for it.
Yeah. But
Well, hey, Russ, I wanted to share a study that I just recently read, and it really applies because I know that Mark lives in California, and Terry's in Colorado, and Zoraida's in Virginia, and you and I are here in Oregon. We got people from all the United States in this. They did a study a number of years ago, and they taught one monkey that if he washed off the sweet potato, it tasted better. So this monkey began washing the potatoes, and then he taught another monkey to wash the potatoes. And within this one region, all of these monkeys, one by one, began teaching each other how to wash off a sweet potato because it tasted better. But the amazing thing was that there was a tipping point, and it happened at the 100th monkey. And at that moment, on a different continent, with no connection to the other monkeys on the other continent began washing their sweet potatoes. And I have this belief that God is transferring the knowledge that we all have to Virginia and Colorado and California. And we're going to see a tipping point when people like Zoraida, who are coaching, we're going to begin looking for other ways to deal with this cancer journey.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And Zoraida, that goes right along with what you're doing, is passing along knowledge and helping people from what you went through, right, Zoraida?
Yeah. And doctors are amazing, right? I mean, they give us a diagnosis, a medical treatment, and I love my oncologists, every one of them. However, I live in the United States, and I felt that I wasn't getting what I really needed. I needed someone to help me make that mindset shift. I needed someone to help me up level my nutrition. I needed to find ways to manage my anxiety. But here's the thing. I mean, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I recognize that when I was stuck, it was because of a limiting belief or a trauma, big or small trauma, but it was something that was holding me back. And once I started to identify those things and investigate it and work through them, it was easier for me to look into my heart and say, okay, how do I want to live? What am I really hungry for? What do I need that I don't have? And how do I get it? And so right now I eat clean. I live in the United States, but for 90% of the time I eat clean. Like Baron said, I eat grass-fed food, pasture-raised protein, non-GMO. I look at every ingredient. I got my certification in nutrition and for me, nutrition is not just food. It's also exercising and the spiritual nutrition and the mindset nutrition. But I needed all that to tell myself a different story, to reinvent myself. And that's exactly what I've been doing all this time. And, I never thought that I would move from finance. But I've done so in such a heartfelt way. I never want to go back.
Well, it is amazing how life happens and then we choose, as I always say, right?
It's
life
the story
happens
we
to
tell
us.
ourselves.
Then we start making a choice. Where are we going to go from here? I mean, we can be stuck in the problems that we're living, or we can make a turn and do something positive. And Baron, that's what you did with Kicking Cancer when you guys started that. And now you have made a difference in thousands of lives.
Yeah, it really has been a blessing. I think the key is when you take your eyes off from yourself, how can I be of some value in another person's life? What can I do to uplift their life? That you're not ego driven. You're driven on a different level of being of support. And that was really the case for me with you, Russ. You were there with me twice with our friend Jennifer. And it was the second time when you looked at me and said that you were going to get tested. And it only took a second to realize as soon as we finished up with what we're doing with Jennifer, we got to be there for Russ. And sometimes it's just a matter of just reaching out to a friend and saying, look, Russ, we know what you're going through. Can we be here with you? What can we do to help? And we made these really fun shirts. They were black shirts for skin cancer. And it was amazing how many of your friends bought a shirt, wore the shirt. One of my biggest memories, Russ, is we had a really good friend who was an avid duck fan. And she would not wear orange and black, but she wore black for you. And that's just a fun thing about reaching out to other people.
Yeah. Well, for people that aren't in Oregon, they probably wonder what you're talking about with the duck fan, but we have the Oregon State Beavers, which I am a proud graduate and follower and fan of. And then we have the Oregon Ducks, which is our arch rival. And yes, not so much. Anyway, that is a great story though. And, I think, Zoraida, you and I met last year at the Perspectives on Cancer. And Baron has had Tim on his radio show and got to know Tim as well. But Tim really moved forward with that organization. You jumped right in and have been such a supporter as well. What do you think the importance of things like that is when you talk about anxiety and challenges of people going through cancer? They really need that support structure, don't they?
Oh, yeah, because fighting cancer takes a mindset shift. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
can tell you that when I first got the news that I had cancer, I was 45 years old. I was working in the job that I was dreamed of. I had a 3 and a 6-year-old sons. I, you know, I heard the words. I went home and I cried with my spouse, but I continue working and going to college at night because I did not want to make that mindset shift because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I didn't know that I needed to make the shift and say, okay, what do I need? And what I needed was I needed to learn some mindfulness. I needed to find ways to manage this anxiety and the stress. And so I, with journaling and prayer and meditation, and finding the right people, that worked for me. And then up leveling my nutrition. Now, I always thought I ate well, but I really took the time to understand the ingredients and to understand the mindset of the United States and the way they push farmers to increase profits. And so they do this by injecting artificial chemicals into the animals so that they can produce more. And so I recognized that some of those ingredients I was sensitive to. I was having GI problems. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to look into it further. And I decided I'm going to get certified. I want to learn more about nutrition. And then spirituality, because I did not have a relationship with God when this all happened to me. And I remember sitting in my apartment in New York during COVID. And I said, okay, God, I know you've been with, I realize now that you've been with me all this time. And I haven't been paying attention, but here I am. I need you to love me. I need you to help me get through this. And
right.
I need to know that that you're doing this with me. And I promise you, I felt it. I felt it all in my body. And I cried. I cried and cried and cried. And then I said, okay, we're going to do this. I said, okay, God, I have 2 children I have to send to college. You're going to help me, I'm not trying to be a Pollyanna, right? So you're going to help me live a good life. And I want to travel and have good experiences and have good health. But I want to send my kids to college and spread this word that there's more to recovery than just the medical portion of it. You need to get into this emotional, beautiful state of mind and accept it. And I had to accept it. And once I did, it was the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Zoraida, quite a story. And you are an amazing person. Hey, I want to give both of you guys the last chance here. You bet. Thank you. And I want to give both of you a last chance to kind of wrap things up. Baron, I'm going to bounce back to you. And then we'll end up with Zoraida. Give everybody kind of your wrap-up comments, what you want them to remember from today, and how do people get in touch with you and Kicking Cancer?
Well, the easiest way to get a hold of Kicking Cancer is it's Kicking with a G, kicking-cancer.org. That's our website. If you go to YouTube, it's Kicking Cancer Productions. That's our YouTube channel, or Kicking Cancer Cares on all the platforms. Russ has been a guest on our radio show twice. But, the real thing for me is we live in a society with a broken system. And we have accepted the system that we have, but the reality is it's broken. And we've got too many stories right here of cases where maybe things would have turned out a little bit differently if we'd have had a little bit different system. And, Zoraida nailed it right on the head when she said, we have figured out as a nation how to industrialize food. I do not believe God ever meant for us to treat animals the way we're treating animals in an effort to produce food faster, but our food system's killing us.
Yeah.
And then most recent data from the American Cancer Society says the number one killer of men under the age of 50 is colon cancer. Under the age of 50, colon cancer, because if it's bad going in, it's bad going out. So Kicking Cancer is here just to educate and support people going through that cancer journey.
Yeah, that is so awesome.
Well said.
Baron, how does everybody get in touch with you?
Kicking-cancer.org. That's our website. Tons of resources. I would encourage you to go to the tab that says stories, put in Russ Hedge, and read his story.
Well, thanks, Baron. And you know what? All that is right there below him, and it's all clickable. You can get to Baron quite easily. And Zoraida, let's get your wrap up comments and your gold nugget, and then how do people get in touch with you?
So for me, I want people to remember that when and if they get this terrible diagnosis, that they don't have to live a life by default. They can live their life by design. And so you get to design your life. And you do that by asking for help. You learn what you don't know. So I encourage people to reach out to people like me and Baron and Russ and Tim and Mark, because we are happy to show you the way. We're happy to introduce you to different things. And all we ask is that you just open up to what you don't know. And I can be reached at zoraidamorales.com. I live in LinkedIn, but I'm also in Instagram. And, I have a PDF on the 7 things that I encourage people to do once they get a diagnosis. And I also have a ginger turmeric balm recipe, which lowers inflammation and eases indigestion. And so I'm happy to share that with everyone. I mean, as a matter of fact, I posted it today. I don't remember exactly where, but I posted it today and I said, share this with everyone. Not, this is not for money. This is so that people can educate themselves. And if they want to learn more, I offer nutrition packages as well.
Awesome. That is so great. Such a great resource, a wealth of knowledge, and you've really dove in and learned so much so quickly, Zoraida, and that's just amazing. I think one thing that we all can say that we've gained from our cancer journey is taking better care of ourselves. And I think that's just so critical. So, Zoraida, Baron, thanks so much for being here today. I just love you both, and I'm going to send you out right now, but hang tight. I'll be with you in the green room in just a sec. All right?
Thank you.
There you go. Well, I'm telling you, you know what? Such important topics. People that are going through cancer, you need to share this out with them, and so they can reach out and use these resources. And so I just want to encourage you to do that. Remember, we're here on Russ Reels Live every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. Whether it's a serious topic or a fun topic, we're here to just give you great value like today. So until we see you again, which will be next Thursday, have an amazing day and amazing life. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.